Hey, what's going on? Welcome in, guys. Welcome, welcome. We'll get started here pretty shortly. Give me a second, just setting up the stream. Letting the room fill up. Hope you guys had a good majority of your work week. Have I switched to codecs yet? I have not. Not yet. Just updating the titles. And then we will start here shortly. YouTube's acting a little weird. You can try and use codecs and Claude Code at the same time. Yeah, definitely. I thought about it, but I don't think I need it. Claude Code is still good enough, to be completely honest. I don't really have use for codecs yet, and I'm sure they're going to come up with some updates to fix any issues people have had. And most of the issues that people were having is they didn't understand that there's a new way you have to prompt everything. It kind of changed. It doesn't infer as much as it used to. It needs direct information. So that kind of tripped people up a little bit. Welcome, guys. Let me set the comments up and everything, pin all this good stuff, and we'll begin. Got a good one for you guys today. We'll start off strong. Got a topic I've been wanting to cover. Finally fleshed it out. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but their stream is down apparently. Stream chat window, whatever. It just says something went wrong, I guess. We'll pull up the chat here another way then. Yeah, stream is live. It's just some funky shit's going on. Oh, I know what's happening. Okay. Sorry, I know how to fix this. I accidentally logged into my other account because we have a new video releasing right now. That's what it was. Let me finish putting that up. We had a discussion in the private community, and I just finished editing it. I was doing the thumbnail. Okay, basically you'll see it. You hopped in the private community yesterday? Hey, nice. Yeah, yesterday was a chill day. The day before that, we had a really good topic. So let me get this going. I just need to erase something off the thumbnail, and we're ready to rock. The discussion was about putting yourself in like a self-imposed cage with pressure. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I do this quite often to myself. It's actually very annoying. Essentially, what you do is like you put these arbitrary numbers in front of yourself, or something like this. Imagine this. Let me shut the fuck up because my brain's not even working. I have to go to the gym by 6 a.m. I have to finish this by 12 o'clock today. And then I have to do it in this sequence or at this time or something. It doesn't matter. You put these arbitrary requirements on yourself for the day. And then once you fail on one of them, it starts to cascade into all of this kind of, what could you say? Like anxiety and stress that you put on yourself where nobody's checking you, nobody's watching. It doesn't matter if you didn't go to the gym at 6, but you did it at 4 in the afternoon. Everybody has this aesthetic of what a strong, successful, disciplined man is, but the only thing that matters at the end of the day is, did you get the work done? So that video, we'll play it for the stream as a preview to the stream actually starting, probably tomorrow. You can watch it on the second channel too. It's about to go up. And it's just discussing the fact that we do this to ourselves all the time. I caught myself driving in the car, not present in the moment. My woman's just talking about, I don't know what she was talking about because I wasn't paying attention. Because I was too busy with the checklist in my head that's stressing me the fuck out. Do this, finish it by this time. You have to get to the gym here. And if you don't, you know, I impose this anxiety on myself that really doesn't affect my day. But we all do this to one another without even realizing. So this entire episode from the private community that I'm about to upload is just discussing how to stop that shit, why people do it, and they do it without even noticing. And it causes you to fail. Because once you're late on your gym appointment, then you're just going to blame yourself for a bunch of things, and it cascades into the rest of your day. And so you can't even enjoy lunch because fuck, I haven't went to the gym yet and I failed again and I'm not a real man and I got to do this, that, and the other. And that's not somebody that's performing effectively. That's just somebody that's like trying to LARP as a successful man and crushing themselves doing it. Sure, successful people have schedules. Not everyone, but a lot of them do. But the way you tailor your schedule matters. If your schedule starts to hold you back, then you're not the type of person that functions effectively, efficiently under that kind of hard scheduling system. Some people genuinely function well on those kinds of set schedules because they're naturally procrastinators and they need to have a set date on things. But that's not for everybody. So, okay, where is this fucking file? Upload this and begin already. There we go. All right, that is scheduled. Pull up YouTube. There we go. Welcome in, everybody. Wherever you're watching, hello. We have a long one today, potentially. We'll see. Depends how we're feeling, how everything's going. Ugh. There we go. Let me post this one on YouTube and pin it. Awesome. Okay. We're live and ready to rock. Listening to this while pulling wire helps. So, we got Claude's coding actually in the background as we're getting shit done. I almost maxed out my usage for the $200 plan. Listening live, delivering in the FedEx truck. Hey, FedEx man. You're like Santa Claus, dude. Love seeing you guys pulling up. Give me that. Give me my packages. Give me that shit. So the topic for today is basically what we're going to start with. And it's essentially our opening monologue, but it's going to point to something deeper. And I don't think this is something we've touched up on too much. And I don't think I've seen many people touch up on this in general anyways. And that's that, you know, the system runs on male utility. And there's a conversation of like, watch what happens when men unplug. And there's this, in the community, this sort of messaging that if just enough of us pull out of the system and enough men unplug, then we're going to end up, you know, winning, and they're going to feel the pain of men's absence and, you know, things like that. But there's something else brewing over on the horizon that's probably going to end up making that entire point mute. So, and I want to talk about this exact point, something that nobody on television will say out loud because, you know, it won't be popular at all to let the goys know what's actually going on. But every man watching this already knows in his bones, right? The entire physical infrastructure of the country runs on male labor, pretty much exclusively. And the thanks you get for keeping it running is a lecture about your privilege from someone whose lights only work because you kept the grid up. You know, every garbage truck rolling through your neighborhood at 5 a.m., every power line, every oil rig, every sewer main, every FedEx dude in the chat, every combat deployment, every underwater weld, every structural repair on every bridge you've ever driven across the entire country. 93% of workplace deaths are men. 97% of combat fatalities are men. You know, civilization is a building that men created, and one sex is holding it up while the other sex sits inside complaining about the temperature. And that is modern feminism. That's not me ranting. That's just the actual math on the numbers of what it takes to keep society, the infrastructure going. And the reason you don't hear it said out loud much often these days is because the entire machine depends on you not noticing. There's this running pattern through every cultural conversation right now, and you can spot it once you know what to look for. So the system never panics when men suffer. We've all noticed this, right? Men have been suffering for generations. We do have our plebs that are completely slopped out of their mind. They don't even know this happens. They don't even care this happens. The bread and circuses for the slop is constantly pumped out. So they're unaware. We have millions of men that are unaware. More are coming online and figuring out what's happening. But we have to talk about some of the brutal realities of what it's like to be a man. And you won't hear this. The suicide rates, they're 4 times higher than they are for women. We die earlier than women. We die alone way more often than women. We're working the worst jobs, taking the worst injuries. And the cultural response to all of it has been silence. We don't even get a shrug. Nothing. None of that triggered an emergency in the consciousness of the culture. None of that got a presidential task force or a hashtag campaign on a magazine cover. The thing that triggered the panic, the only thing that ever triggers the panic, is the moment that male participation starts dropping. So the male labor force is a big one we hear about. When that participation hits its lowest number on record, when marriage rates are collapsing, when the birth rates are collapsing, when all our boys are checking out of school, young men are not applying to college, men in their 20s just refusing to play the game anymore whatsoever. And then suddenly, all at once, the entire commentariat finds its voice for us. Suddenly, there's a male loneliness epidemic, and you have this bald-headed turd always talking about what it's going to take to make men thrive and not be, failure to launches in their own homes. But we can't touch any of the side that women have, responsibility-wise, for this entire loneliness epidemic. We have all these toads that pretend to be for men, men's right activists, but they always say, but, this doesn't mean women XYZ. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. These guys, they all suddenly, they come on all these talk shows, sell their shitty books. Suddenly, we need to talk about men's mental health. Suddenly, the New York Times is doing a special series on where have all the men gone? Where were you the last 40 years? You weren't worried then, okay? You're worried now because labor is drying up. And once you see it, you can't unsee this shit. The male loneliness epidemic is not a humanitarian discovery. It's a panic response. It's a machine that needs your output, realizing that the inputs are leaving. They don't care that you're suffering. They care that you're no longer producing for them. Look at the language of every one of these articles, every single one, and watch how it never asks why men are unplugging. It just asks how to get you back to picking the cotton, how to get you back on the fields like a little slave. How do we re-engage young men? Do they ever ask that? How do we bring them back to the workforce? Instead, that's what you get. How do we incentivize marriage? How do we get fertility rates up? The framing is never what happened to these men. The framing is, kind of like an asset class that's depreciating. And what do we do about it? You are the asset class. That's how they think about you. That's how they always thought about you. And now you're starting to figure it out, and the alarms are starting to go off in all the rooms. And it's always in the rooms you're never going to be invited to. That's the part that's the most painful. Think about this, right? Who does the work? Who actually pays the cost? I'm just asking. Because men make up roughly half of the population, but we absorb, like I said, 93% of the workplace deaths. Half the population is taking 97% of the combat fatalities. Half of the population is doing virtually all the dangerous, dirty, physically destructive labor that an industrial civilization requires to exist. The roofing, the mining, the logging, the commercial fishing, the construction, the long-haul trucking. Refuse collection. Who are the garbage men? Garbage men. Think about that. No garbage women. Ironwork, linemen, crab boats, pipe fitters, welders. Doesn't matter. Welders working 20 feet underwater, under the surface of the ocean in zero visibility, because somebody has to keep the offshore platforms producing the energy that powers the laptops that the people complaining about you are typing on at this moment. Look at the death rate for those jobs. Look at the gender ratio. It's not 60-40, you guys. It's not 80-20. It's 95 to 99% male in the lethal categories. And nobody runs a campaign asking why women aren't equally represented in those kinds of industries. Equity in those numbers, it's not anybody's agenda. Nobody's talking about it, because the math only matters when it benefits women. And we know this already. When it benefits men, it costs men. The math is invisible. So you guys ask yourself, when was the last time you saw a Super Bowl ad, for example, about the workplace fatalities? Ask yourself, when was the last time a politician gave a speech about men dying in trade jobs? Ask yourself, when was the last time a corporate DI department announced some initiative to reduce the male share of industrial deaths, for example? Never. Not that I can remember since I've been alive on this earth. The answer actually is never. If you go back and check, it's never actually happened, because those deaths are doing the work the system needs done, and bringing attention to them might cause men to do some questioning on whether the deal is worth it in the first place. The deal is not worth it. The deal has never been worth it. You die at 73, she dies at 79. And you spent your life shoveling concrete and hauling steel or going to war. And the closing line of your obituary is going to be that you worked hard and provided for your family. That's your trophy. That's the parade. That's all you get. A tombstone. You sacrificed everything for almost nothing. And it gets darker when you look at how the labor gets paid out. Okay, we have those wage gap conversations, and they only ever flow in one direction. When women earn less, it's discrimination. When men die more, it's a personal choice. When a woman works fewer hours, it's caregiving labor, you guys. That should be compensated. When a man works more hours, it's because he's privileged and won't be present for his kids. Same input, opposite framing. Every single time. The garbage man that's working overtime in 100-degree heat to put food on the table is told he's emotionally absent for his family or his wife. The corporate woman taking maternity leave is told she's a hero balancing it all. Same effort, opposite framing. Only one gets celebrated and only one gets contempt. See, the man pays in years off of his life, and you get called a problem. The woman pays in flexibility and gets called a queen. There's nothing accidental about that. It's a system that's optimizing for a specific outcome, and the outcome is your continued participation, no matter how much it costs you, is all that matters. What an incredible world we live in. And then look at the response when men actually start to break off from this. The suicide rate is the cleanest data point in this entire conversation, and it gets buried every single time on TV, on podcasts, wherever. Men off themselves at 3 to 4 times the rate of women in this country. Middle-aged white men specifically have one of the highest rates of suicide in this country. The highest rate of any demographic on earth. Think about that. So you're telling me that at the same time, while we're being told, I'll get to the super chat soon. At the same time that we're being told to shut up, to put up, and to work even harder to attain a quarter of what our grandparents did in a society that doesn't even have an ounce of respect for us anymore. And the men that see this happening are all just calling it quits for good, and that they somehow should not complain. There's no problem. Nothing to see here, folks. You don't see anything going wrong. Isn't that insane? The CDC of all, these are hard numbers. No feminist could deny any of this. The CDC will publish all of these numbers for you. And the response, what is it? It doesn't even get a press release. No campaign. No funding for men. No telethon, no shows on TV, like Saturday morning discussions on the news, nothing on The View, nothing. Compare that to any other demographic gap that runs the other direction, and watch how fast all these resources start to mobilize. The resources that you pay for, that your tax dollars go towards. They help everyone else but you. Isn't that weird how that happens? Think about that. The truth is, suicides are not threatening to the system because, let's be completely honest, a dead man is just a man who exited unprofitably. That's how a corporation will look at you. You're an economic unit in this world. The system loses one unit and adjusts. That's it. Replace them with the next sack of meat. What threatens the system is not a man actually dying. What threatens the system is a man living and refusing to participate in the system. That's the line. The self-deletion, the calling it quits, that's tolerated by the system. That's why they don't talk about it, because they don't care about it. Withdrawal is not. Labor participation withdrawal is not. Because the self-deletion takes you off the field, but the withdrawal takes the field itself. This is why every article shaming men for checking out reads like a hostage tape if you read it right. Men aren't getting married. Men aren't having kids. Men aren't applying to college. Men aren't working as many hours. Men aren't joining the military. And every one of those headlines comes with some anxious undertone that says, and we don't know how to make them come back. Go fuck yourself. You are the thing that won't come back. You are the variable that's not behaving the way the model predicts. They thought you were a feature of the landscape, and you're turning out to be a choice. And choices can go the other way. That's why the volume is increasing. Articles 5 years ago were curious. Articles 3 years ago were worried. Articles right now are pleading. Articles a year from now are going to be hostile, because when the soft pitch fails, the hard pitch comes out. And the hard pitch is always going to be the same. You're going to start hearing about selective service expansion. Ha, it's already happened. Automatic enrollment. You're going to start to hear about national service requirements. You're going to hear about tax penalties on the unmarried. Subsidies for the things they want you to do. The carrot fails and the stick comes out. That sequence has happened hundreds of times in 100 different countries, and it is happening now in real time in hours. Do you understand what's actually being defended here? The thing being defended is not your well-being or your fulfillment or your future. The thing being defended is the throughput, the tonnage, the pipeline of male bodies that gets fed into the dangerous, dirty, exhausting, lethal labor that keeps every other category of life functioning. You are not a person to this system. You are a load-bearing column. A load-bearing column or columns don't get to ask whether the building is worth holding up. You don't get to walk away, and you don't get to read the contract. They stand there, bear the load, and feel grateful for the privilege. Every cultural mechanism, every shaming article, every campaign, every op-ed and sermon and think piece pointed at men who are stepping back, all of it is designed to make sure you don't ask the question that ends the whole thing, which is, why am I doing this? For who am I doing this? For what? And to get what in return exactly? Okay, men, real men, have been answering essentially that question for 15 years, and the answer keeps coming back the same. The deal is bad. The participation isn't earning what it used to earn. The marriage doesn't last. The job doesn't reward. The country doesn't honor. The kids you raise are taught from kindergarten that your kind is the problem. The taxes you pay fund the programs explicitly designed to fast track the people who are not you. And when you finally do the math and you decide to step back, you're called a Peter Pan. You're called a man-child, a threat, a loser. So you're a hero when you grind, a villain when you stop. And the only difference between the two is whether the labor is still flowing. What you've been told is a contract is actually serfdom, dressed up in a tuxedo. And you've been wearing the tuxedo so long you forgot it. It doesn't belong to you. You're a renter. So ask yourself, what does the unplug look like actually? Well, it doesn't look like rage. Don't be upset when you're hearing this. Let it digest. It doesn't look like black pill. It's not hopeless. It doesn't look like screaming about the system on some fucking strange forum at 2 a.m. The men who are actually unplugging are the quiet ones. They're the ones who started the one-man business, so no HR department gets to tell them their personality is a violation. They're the ones who stopped chasing women whose dating profiles read like a list of demands and started building something a high-quality woman would actually find. Okay? They're the ones who pulled their sons out of the schools that were medicating them for being 5-year-old boys. They're the ones who reduced their tax footprint, dropped the lifestyle inflation, killed all their debt, lowered the burn rate, and rebuilt the entire calculation so that they don't need the deal anymore at all. And once a man doesn't need the deal has nothing to offer him. And the deal knows this. That's why the panic escalates. That's why the volume is going up. That's why they think, or I should say, that's why every think piece on male loneliness epidemics read like a warning about a trend that's already past the point of no return. They're not afraid of you suffering. They're afraid of you leaving. And they should be, because once enough men leave, the bill comes due on a system essentially priced that is priced your contribution at zero for the probably last 60 years, you could say, for sure. Men have been getting a raw deal. The celebration of women's independence was always conditional, for example. It was funded by men, taxed by men, right? Subsidized by men, and pitched to women as liberation. Then the moment men started cashing out on their own liberation, their own rights, the same way the framing starts to reverse overnight. She left her marriage, she's brave. He left his marriage, he's broken. She quit her job to find herself, she's aspirational or inspirational. He quit his job to find himself, he's a failure to launch. The whole system runs on that asymmetry, and that asymmetry is the only thing that's basically holding men in place. Only as long as men keep showing up. The moment we stop as a collective, the entire scaffolding behind the celebration starts to collapse because there's nobody left to pay for that freedom that was being marketed. You understand? They knew this the whole time. They're just hoping you wouldn't figure it out for yourself. See, most men are starting to figure it out right now. It's happening quietly, individually, household by household. One decision at a time, you guys, with no movement, no little flag, and no rally cries to call its own. Just a generation of men gradually deciding the deal isn't worth signing anymore. And the panic on the other side is not a sign that they care about you. It's a sign that the math finally stopped working for them. The recall notices are going out. The shaming articles are escalating. The legislative wish list is already being drafted right in front of us. But here's what nobody is telling you about where this is actually going. And this is the part that should make every man watching right now, listening, lean forward. Here's the dangerous part that has me completely worried for what's coming down the pipe. The system has a counter move, and it's already being built. Every dangerous job that gives men leverage right now, every job that the system needs done and only men are willing to do, is being engineered for replacement in real time. Boston Dynamics, Tesla Optimist, Figure, Agility Robotics, Amazon dumping tens of billions into warehouse automation. The Pentagon is pouring funding into autonomous combat platforms because they already know the recruitment numbers are not coming back. Self-driving trucks tested across thousands of miles. Robotic welders, autonomous mining rigs, construction frames being printed by machines. Every single one of those development tracks is being funded harder right now than at any other point in human history. And the timing is not a coincidence. Listen to me. Capital is reading the same data you're reading. Labor participation is collapsing. Marriage is collapsing. Recruitment is collapsing. Trades are aging out with nobody coming up behind them. And the capital is doing what capital always does, which is replacing the input that's getting harder to extract. You guys, listen to me. The panic articles and the robot factories are the same response to the same problem from two different angles. One is the carrot trying to get you back. The other is the long-term bet that they don't actually need you back. They just need to buy enough time to finish building your replacement. Think about leverage right now, today. The only reason any of this conversation matters is because the system still needs male labor to function. The garbage trucks still need the drivers. The oil rigs still need the bodies. The infantry still needs feet on the ground. The infrastructure still needs the hands. As long as that's true, every man who unplugs takes a brick out of the wall. And enough men unplugging brings the whole structure down to the negotiating table. That's your leverage. That is your only leverage that you've ever had. And it expires the moment those jobs can be done without you. The day a humanoid robot can frame a house and run a drill press and crawl into a sewer line and pilot a 40-foot truck across the country, your unplug stops being a threat and starts to be a footnote. The withdrawal that was supposed to break the system becomes the data point that justified replacing you in the first place. This is the race. That's the race. That's the actual race that nobody is naming out loud. The men checking out right now are operating under the assumption that their absence will eventually force the system to renegotiate a deal. That assumption is correct only as long as the labor automation curve stays slower than the awakening curve. Right now, those two curves are running parallel to each other. Some sectors, automation is already a step ahead. In some sectors, withdrawal is still ahead. The lead times change depending on the industry. But the second the automation curve pulls definitively in front across the board, the leverage is gone, you guys. And not just for this generation, for every single generation after. Because once a job is roboticized at scale, it doesn't come back to human hands ever again. Truckers won't come back when the self-driving fleet is online. Miners won't come back when the autonomous rig is profitable. Infantry won't come back when the swarm drone replaces the squad. The window to extract a renegotiated deal closes the day the replacement can do the job acceptably, not even perfectly. And the day is not 10 years away. That day is already here for some categories and 3 to 5 years out for the rest of them. Think about that. So watch what they're actually doing while they're publishing the male loneliness pieces. Watch where the capital flows. Watch which lobbying groups are funding regulatory carve-outs for autonomous freight. Watch which Pentagon contracts are getting greenlit. Watch the announcements every quarter from the humanoid robotics companies. And notice that the marketing is always about household tasks and elder care, while the actual deployment pipeline is industrial labor and combat support. The press release says robots to do the dishes. The contract says robots to do the dangerous jobs. We currently rely on a 32-year-old with a wife and 2 kids and no other options to do. Those are not the same product. One is the cover story. The other is the actual play. And the actual play is a hedge against the exact awakening you are a part of right now. This is why the urgency matters and why the timing matters. Men who unplug in the next 2 to 3 years can extract real concessions because the leverage is still there. Men who try to unplug in 5 to 7 years, you're going to find yourselves in a labor market where the only jobs left for human men are the ones that machines can't do yet, which is a much smaller and worse paying set of jobs than the ones that men have been doing for generations. And men who don't even start considering unplugging until, like, I don't know, say 10 years from now because you think you're safe, you're going to find yourselves living in a country that does not need you at all, that has automated the production line, automated the logistics chain, automated the infantry, automated the trades, and now sees the male population the same way it currently sees any surplus demographic, which is a problem to be managed rather than a resource to be honored. Surplus populations get managed. They don't get listened to. They don't get courted with policy concessions. They get UBI, some checks calibrated to keep them quiet, mass entertainment calibrated to keep you docile, pharmaceutical regimens calibrated to keep you medicated, for example, and they get sorted into these categories the managing class decides are useful. That's what comes next if the awakening loses the race. And the cruelest part of all of this is the part that should put some fire in your chest is that every man who checks out right now is being counted twice. You're being counted as labor participation problem in the quarter's data, which justifies the hand-wringing articles and the policy discussions. You're also being counted as evidence in the next quarter's automation investment thesis, which then justifies the capital flowing into his replacement. So the same withdrawal that should be earning men a renegotiated deal is also being used as the rationale for making sure no renegotiation is ever necessary. They are using your unplug as the proof that they need to build a system that doesn't need you. Listen to that again. Your strongest move is being weaponized into the thing that strips you of your strongest move. None of that is accidental. It's the long-term game being played at the C-suite level by the people who know exactly how much labor leverage costs them every single year. And they have decided to pay any price to never have to negotiate with it again. So, again, what does this mean for the man watching this, listening in right now? It means the unplug is still the right move, but the unplug needs to come with a build. You don't just step back from the existing system. You start rebuilding. You start building something, building the replacement on your terms before the replacement gets built on theirs. You learn the trades that will hold out the longest against automation, the human judgment jobs, the high context relationship jobs, the local jobs, the jobs that require a man with skin in the game, showing up in person. You build the assets that don't depend on a paycheck that the system can just switch off. You teach your son skills that survive the transition, not the credentialed paper-pushing careers that will be the first to fall. You build a community with other men so that when the labor leverage is gone, the social leverage isn't. Because a network of capable men loyal to each other is leverage that no algorithm has figured out how to replicate yet. And you do all of it on a clock, not in 10 years, now. Because the system is not waiting for you to finish waking up. The system is racing you to the finish line. And the finish line is the moment your participation stops mattering at all. That is the real situation we're all under. That is the part of the story that doesn't fit on a Sunday op-ed. The recall notice is real. The panic is real. The leverage is real. But our leverage has an expiration date, and the date is being moved earlier every quarter by every dollar that goes into automation R&D. Most men are still going to miss it. Most men are going to spend the next 5 years debating gender politics on Twitter, while the actual game is being decided in boardrooms and DARPA contracts and all the venture funding rounds they will never read about. The men who win the next 20 years are the ones who see the race for what it is right now, today, and start running quietly, without permission, while the rest of the country is still arguing about whether, the race is real at all. They're already there doing laps. Those men are not your audience, guys. They're your competition. That's the side of the fucking game you have to be on. So that was the topic I wanted to cover today, because we get portions of this, how men need to come back into the labor force. We get other snippets of automation coming for certain sectors of the job market. But what they don't tie in is the full puzzle revealed in front of you, which is what I hopefully just did, that we are against the clock. Our power, our leverage is dwindling day by day. The investments are picking up, and the advancements are going near vertical on the graph. We will have recursive levels of improvement. The timelines are shrinking. So hopefully this gets you in a position to start at least thinking about taking this seriously, because I would hate to have men wake up during the transitional period of what is about to happen and feel the full brunt of it. You will be a victim. It will be nothing but pain. The transition period is not going to be some utopia the liberals will promise us, the AI company CEOs promise us. There's going to be a massive gap while the system completely reorients itself. And in that gap, you would have either escaped the pain and prepared properly, or be subjected to all of it in totality. Be extremely careful what side you choose to be on. I wouldn't trust any job today. Not a single company deserves your loyalty. Always have one foot out of the door, knowing you will be replaced at a moment's notice when it makes sense to their balance sheet. And prepare your exit. Have your side business, your dream, whatever you want to call it, your hustle. Give it whatever name you want. I don't care. Make sure that is actively being fostered, nurtured on the side while your job pays its bills. You don't have a choice. You only can prepare, because what's coming is guaranteed. It's not in your dreams. It's not science fiction. It's being built today. All the data centers are proof of it. all the money flowing in, all those robotics, all the new DARPA videos, all those AI-powered drones, everything, the system itself is reorienting around us. Don't be late to the game. I'll get into some comments right now. And super chats. Thanks, Vinti. Let me pull these up. This is why I don't... Where'd it go? This is why I don't disrespect my fellow man. These are the people seen as numbers in the system. Tell your bros you appreciate them today. HR won't. That's a fact.
Yago King donated $2. Hey, Bo. I'm finally taking a leave.
Brother.
I'm having my schedule at work being changed to a flex schedule where I set my own hours. This is so I can finally dedicate more time towards my jerky business instead of spending my 1 or 2 days off trying to work on it.
Hey. Good move, brother. I hope and I wish you all the success.
At Filthy Angry Irish Peasant donated $5. Ukraine is a test 2026 defense strategy, autonomous systems and modern warfare. BAS systems no going back. Wait until police get this technology.
Yeah, police are already deploying some of these units in certain cities.
At Navasnock17 donated $5, a form of the Bible verse. Live in the world but not of it, not like the church but in truth.
Oh, I like that one. That's a good one. All right. Hopefully you guys like that. We're going to move on to some commentary. I've been kind of sitting with that in my head because, I don't know, when you just look at the way society is structured today, the elite don't care about anybody. Everybody is just used for means to an end, including feminism, including DEI, including immigrants that they're bringing in, mass migration, open borders, men. It doesn't matter. Everything is just an economic input to these people. So the way I see it is they'll throw anybody under the bus as soon as it makes sense. As soon as the bottom line on the profit sheet is green, they will replace you. They will throw... Women are about to wake up to such a nasty future where they're going to get thrown completely under the bus. Women have no idea. 80% of the jobs in the very beginning that AI will replace are dominated by women. Women hold those positions. 80% of the jobs, women will hold those. Okay, and the other 20% that are getting replaced will be from the male side of employment. So women are about to wake up into a world where they will be left powerless because feminism cannot stand in the way of profitability. Feminism was hand in hand with profitability, doubling up the workforce, the tax base, more slaves, cheaper payouts, cheaper salaries, because the supply doubled. That's over with. Now feminism has run its course. It's no longer usable anymore. It's no longer profitable. So now they move on to the next thing, which is robotics, artificial intelligence. Combining those two together means that they're going to essentially usher in a world of ultimate profitability and control. No workers to complain. Nobody that needs to check in. They're checked in all the time. They're clocked in. They don't sleep. Warehouses will be dark. No lights are even needed. A few humans will be managing entire warehouses of robots. Mechanical. You'll be like a robotics mechanic. You're just checking in on the system, making sure everything's running. If something breaks down, you're there to help replace whatever it is. You're overseers. That's the only jobs that will be left in the future. Human overseers of massive autonomous industries. So, thanks, brother, for the 2. I highly, highly recommend you guys start to tribe up and train. You get your mind right, your body right. You find a group of men that are doing the same thing, if you haven't already. Then you better start discussing buying plots of land together and building houses on it. I think the commune setup is going to make a comeback in the next 15 years. I'm already in discussions of doing this with all my friends. We're all looking for land and potentially will have the plots divided. This is very needed but unrealistic. It's not unrealistic at all. It's unrealistic if you choose to stay in the system. If you don't get another way out in the next 5 years, if you're not planning for that, not all of us are going to make it. That's the brutal reality of the truth here. Most men will be asleep. Most men watching this have a chance because you're at least aware. The first step is being aware of the problem. Second step is putting up an action plan to make it reality. So if you guys are at least aware, I've done my job. I can't hold your nuts and make you wake up every morning, get out of bed and do what you need to do to free yourself. That's on you. If you can, and you did, I've done my job. And if you do and become that capable man, by all means, reach out. Get into the private community. Start to find other men in your position. Because many men are already building that reality for themselves. Again, I told you, because we don't have a choice. We didn't inherit the same world our fathers had.
At Quali 2005 donated $4.99. Brother, never stop. Men need voices like yours to be heard.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man, for the 5. And you know why people are asleep? Well, let me just tell you a story. I took my woman out here in Phoenix into a place called Bobby Q's. Bobby Q's. It's a barbecue spot. Really well known. Has like 10,000 reviews on Google. Famous spot out here in Arizona, if you know. And we were sitting outside in the terrace enjoying like one of those platters. We had a bunch of ribs, pulled pork, chicken, stuff like that. And I'm just showing her American barbecue, right? Done right. And we're sitting in this patio outside. And the table across from us is some white family, a get-together, white friends, I guess. Family and friend get-together. And one guy and his woman is just mouthing off like crazy. They're just talking a bunch of absolute goy nonsense. Sports. They're talking about football. They're talking about stats. Like it sounds like what somebody does when they're in the middle of a like fantasy football league. You know, they're citing their stats and the players and what they've done. And then the woman is chiming in just as much as the man. The woman is literally mouthing off like, this is why I can't even remember what player she was saying. This is my favorite player. And he was holding the team together and citing stat sheets as a woman. A woman is citing the most useless goy slop entertainment to the table as if she's providing some sort of value. Drowning. Yes, these people are completely drowning in ignorance. They're completely unaware of the world and the change that's happening beneath their feet. They're sitting there stuffing their gullets with, you're at a barbecue place, but you got a fucking burger. Part 1 of the issue, you get the ribs, bro. What are you doing? But part 2 of the issue is you're stuffing yourself with slop, and your woman next to you, you're completely, unbeknownst to you, how messed up of a world you're living in, how low of a woman you have, and how low of a man you have become. You are reduced to sitting at a table, consuming slop, talking about pro football stat sheets with a woman that should be bearing your babies. They look like they were, I don't know what age they were. Late 20s, 30s, maybe. Old enough. Single. I mean, I should say no kids. Probably has dogs. Only. And the most important thing you want to talk about. Hell, I get it. You're at dinner or lunch, whatever, right? It's the middle of the day. You're enjoying barbecues at this really cool spot. And the thing you talk about are stat sheets of a sport that never cared, didn't give a fuck about you, and gives you nothing in return for knowing that information. What does the knowledge give you? Nothing. The information, does it make you money? Not at all. Is your woman in her feminine? No, she watches other dudes in tights throw a fucking ball around. Is she saving you money? Nope. You're both just floating through life, getting older and older, having accomplished a quarter of what your grandfather has at your age, and you don't even know why, and you don't even question why. It never even hits your system to wonder if you're even given a good life, if you're even living your potential, because you're not. And it's only when you look backward and then ask about the future, do you really see what the present is about? And that is shit. That is nothing. Crumbs. You're living on fumes, and you're told that's good enough. And so the system will continue churning you into dust of mediocrity. And that is your life. So yes, he will be a good goy. He will tune into sports ball in another week, and him and his woman will go out to eat more barbecue and quote millions of other useless stats while they wonder why shit's so expensive, why they can't afford a house, why they have no kids, why they can't go on vacations, why their bosses overwork them, and 5 years from now we'll wake up into a world that doesn't even need either of their jobs anymore. And they're going to say, how could this have happened to me? Why us? Somebody in the chat saying, okay, then what's the solution? Why don't you rewind the fucking video and watch again? How about that, dude? How about not be a goy? Rewind the video and see what the solution was. It spelled out very clearly what you should do. This is the guy wanting his nuts held. Please tell me what to do, oh Lord. Oh. Please tell me. So, like, give me step-by-step directions on how to fix it.
Atatha Chickens donated $2, going the way of return to the land.
Yeah, in that kind of way for every one of us. Says, do you have people on your land, or are you going to defend it yourself? I have people on the land. Look, we're looking to build a house with like 5, 6 different families of people that love the Second Amendment. So, and you better, yeah, just know your boy is wiring up the land to have like tripwire cameras that absolutely power on when there's a human walking around with AI powered like detection that sees a human silhouette and will track it. And I'm going to have multiple perches on my land with a very nice long barrel gun. So, which I can get to very quickly. Just saying. I mean, I'm assuming the future is going to look grim and there's crazier and crazier people coming out of the woodwork. So you have to defend you and your family. And I do carry, and I have absolutely no problem on using it. I don't value human life the way other people do. Just being honest. Scumbags need to be put in the dirt is my mentality. And they forfeited their humanity when they chose to commit crimes and victimize people. I don't believe in giving criminals any bit of humanity. I think they deserve to be turned into fertilizer. That's just me, though. Maybe it's my inner Vlad the Impaler. So, I don't know. Thanks, brother. It physically pains me to imagine living out my one and only life never having shit. How these people can cast votes like me baffles me. Yeah. Preppers are going to be shelling out a ton of I told you so's, probably. Yeah. I mean, I love to say they're overdoing it in crazies, but they might not have been so fucking crazy after all, huh? The crazy part is the crazy people turned out not to be so crazy. Isn't that something? All right, let's see what we got here. We got a bunch of stuff. I wanted to start off with, where was that? We're going to have to go on Kick for a lot of these, to be honest. I have a ton of stuff we can't even watch on YouTube. But we'll start off with something easy. Okay. We'll get the good doctor out of the way. Yeah, we'll go to Kick soon. We'll go to Kick after a couple more of these. All right. So we have Orion Taraban here. I don't need a man. How women use men. Let's see.
One of the things that perennially seems to get under a lot of people's skin is my use of numbers to describe women's physical attractiveness. Apparently, this is objectifying, misogynistic, abusive, etc. And it's actually none of these things, and it's fairly easy to demonstrate.
Shout outs to everybody, by the way, that's been getting the hats. Fire. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Come on. Come on. All right. Camera won't zoom. Guess not. Focus isn't working. Good job. Good job, camera. Anyway, shout outs to everybody that's been getting the shirts, getting the hats. Of course, you already know the classics. If you've gotten the classics, shout out to you. Appreciate you. And the mugs, everything. I had the mugs over here. I have to plug the merch, you know. I want people to at least get a little something. Thank you to everybody that's been donating, super chatting as usual. You know, it does support the channel directly. So, and appreciate you guys just for tuning in anyways. That's it. If you're just tuning in, thank you for being here. Let's continue.
Why? In the first place, women can and do evaluate men in the same way. I mean, that's what evaluate means. It means to assign a value to. The only difference is that women typically don't use concrete numbers. They use abstract quantities. The thought process behind phrases like, he's not good enough, you could do better, or he's an upgrade, all require women to perceive hierarchies of value in men to have any meaning whatsoever. So we can't get away from it. And a behavior that is common to both genders, but is only a problem when one gender does it, probably shouldn't be labeled as sexism. That would be kind of like arguing that only white people can be racist or something ridiculous like that. In any case, as I explain in chapter 1 of my book, the evaluation mechanism is baked in to human neuropsychology, just like logic. We need it to survive, and because it literally lets us know what we should approach and what we should avoid with respect to achieving our self-relevant goals. Without the valuation mechanism, everything would kind of be equally good and equally bad, which would make it extremely difficult to navigate through life. Like, we couldn't even rely on emotional reactions, as our emotions generally contain approach-avoid behavior stimuli that are rooted in the evaluation mechanism. It would just be instinct or machine learning. Ranking women is also completely grounded in the empirical literature. Like, almost by definition, how do you think any study that researches physical attractiveness measures physical attractiveness? Oh yeah, Likert scales, often on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, that's how researchers know who's attractive and who's not. And it turns out women are differentially attractive to men, and the strange belief that possessed the
My shit's made in America, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody said, stop buying stupid shit, but please buy my stupid shit that brings no value to your life. It's shirts and hats. Keeps China employed. Yeah, my stuff's made in America.
popular imagination that all women are equally beautiful, irrespective of their physical attributes, only survived from like the ascent of wokeness in 2015 to the creation of Ozempic in 2025, which, granted, is still a long time to be deprived of sanity. In any case, using a numerical scale to evaluate female attractiveness is an empirically supported methodology. But my fundamental point for this episode is that women are just as guilty of objectifying men than men are of objectifying women. In fact, women might be more guilty as their objectification is much more prevalent and hidden in plain sight. And the most common way this is expressed is something that I hear over and over and over again from women who take issue with my content, namely, I don't need a man. Why would I ever serve a man? Why would I ever provide value to him? I'm not his mommy. I'm not his slave. I don't need a man. And because you've probably heard this yourself, you can help me with this next part. Why don't these women need a man? Like, what always comes after this? Help me fill in the blank. I don't need a man because
I have a ton of simps that are already paying for shit without asking for anything in return. That's actually what it is. If even simps removed themselves completely from the equation, women's tones would change right away. Women are literally obsessed with men, obsessed with the kind of men they can get, because men are trophies to women, believe it or not. The best man that she could snag is a direct judgment of her value in society. Listen to me. A man represents the woman, her ability to grab a quality man. Every woman looks at her and judges her immediately for the man that is on her arm. This is why women at the table, when they're with all the other chicken heads, constantly compare what? Their men and what their men did and how much their men make and what vacations they took with their men, because that is a direct assessment of her value in the society, her hierarchy within the group. Because she can't be seen as dating a Dusty who has no money but loves him for his heart, and he's a great man, he'll never cheat on me. She'd rather get cheated on but have a high status man, because that still makes her look good, even if she got cheated on, because it's accepted. It's normal. He's a high status man. Every woman wants him, but at least I got to live in the castle. I'm the one he goes to bed to. Yeah, he smashes some other women here and there, but those whores don't share his last name. I do. And that's all that matters. Now, women would love to have that man all to themselves, but they even know it's not possible. So it's like unfathomable for the average man to wrap his head around the fact that women will and are totally okay with sharing high status men, because that's incredible for her status. She is the wife of rich guy, businessman, ball player, whatever. She just got cheated on. He's wild, but she's working on it. She's so brave. She's working with him to get him, all the demons out of his head. She knows she's getting cheated on, but she wakes up to $1 million chandelier over her head. She wakes up to gardeners working on a sprawling acreage of a property. So yes, he dips his stick in some other wet holes. Oh well, price to pay. Life's set. Kids are going to the best schools, the best academies. That's what you guys don't understand. And that is what you need to wrap your head around. The lifestyle and the status matters way more than how many hoes you're smashing. This is why every king and every other baron and businessman has always had concubines, because they're okay with it. Because they even understand it's normal. Because they understand if they were to say something, they could be replaced by a woman who won't give him the same lip and headache. That's it. It's always existed since the beginning of time. This is one of the benefits you get as a man when you reach the top echelons. Now, we've placed moral barriers with Christianity and other, duties of society, one man, one woman married together and all that stuff, that changed the game somewhat, but still at the highest echelons, this is being played. Mother Nature supersedes all morality. And that's what you need to understand. This is the game. That's it. It's that simple. Any woman that tells you she will not deal with a cheating man, she will never accept that. It's just an asterisk. I won't accept this from a poor guy, an average guy, a guy I settle with, a not multimillionaire, a not famous man, a man that's not well known or high status in society. That's all it is. Once you get to a certain level, literally the rules evaporate for you as a man. And women know this, which is why the higher status you get as a man, the less bullshit and the less rules you seem to deal with. Isn't that funny how that works? Instinctual. Women didn't have to be taught this. They actually know this is how the game works. This is why a woman who's dating a man she thinks she's settling for, or a man that's beneath her in her mind, why do you think he gets the most lip? He gets the most controlled. He has the most hoops to jump through. His access to sex is the most conditional because he's beneath her in status in her eyes. A man that's above status, that kitty's wet. That kitty's ready to go. Every single day, that mouth is putting in work. Every single day, she zips it and doesn't give him a headache. The massage just come out. The food is cooked. The house is clean. Thank you, Daddy, for the life you're providing. Isn't that great? Isn't that great how that works? But if you're not that guy, then you have to beg and plead with your woman to make you a sandwich, to cook something, anything whatsoever, to clean up the house. You're going to be negotiating who does the chores this day and that other day. Congratulations. You were settled for. No woman that respects her man, that thinks she's got a trophy, would ever share chores with anybody. Ever. And this is the brutal truth. There's a bunch of guys right now that will listen to this as the video comes out later, and they'll go, fuck, that's me. I share chores. I cook. She's too busy because she's working. Something. There's a million little things you're looking at your relationship right now and going, oh, fuck. I've actually had to compromise too much with my woman. That's your number one sign. If you ever had to compromise, you're never a trophy. Do you compromise with trophies, you guys? Do you compromise? If I gave you a woman in front of you that was like world-renowned, beautiful, she would pay to get to model. She gets paid on her beauty, just how she looks. And then she did all the feminine duties. Would you negotiate with that woman in any way whatsoever? Or would you be less likely to negotiate and act even more right? Of course. Because you have a trophy. You have something high value. The only time you treat a woman like trash, the only time you disrespect a woman, the only time is when you essentially stepped out of the relationship, don't care, don't see her as worth anything. She's either damaged or broken or low value in your eyes. And then you treat her appropriately.
What? The answer when we return. Are you finally ready to understand how relationships really work? Then get your hands on my, because I already have plenty of love and support. No. Do they say, well, I don't need a man because I already have regular, consistent sex? No, that's not it either. Oh, do they say, I don't need a man because I already have a constant companion with whom to share my life? No, that's not it either. You know how the statement always ends, don't you? What these women always say is, I don't need a man because I have my own money. I can pay my own bills. Thank you very much. You see, this is how.
Almost, Doc. Almost. Simping's a bigger problem than women having high-paying jobs, believe me. There's not many high-paying jobs for all the women that are essentially answering that question with just as much, what could you say, confidence. That confidence comes from simps funding lifestyles.
How women tell on themselves. If you don't need a man because you have your own money, then what does that tell you women think they need a man for? I mean, these are their own words here. If you don't need a man because you can pay your own bills, the implication is that if you couldn't, then you would need one. And in this way, men are objectified as financially exploitable resources. And this is much, much, much more common than the objectification of women as sexually exploitable resources. Like, I have never, ever heard a man say on TV, in a movie, in a song, I don't need a woman because I can make myself orgasm? Thank you very much. Like, have you? I mean, can you even imagine? Here's the thing. Men can and do.
So someone says, you're delusional if you think the average has simps funding them. How are they funding them? You clearly get zero pussy whatsoever asking such a asinine question in the dating market today, no less. Fat bitches get a ton of matches on dating apps. Fat hoes have men in the DMs sending them money. Chubby chasers are just one aspect of a simp. There are many simps that love to give money away. There are so many men that are so sex starved, so starved for attention, they're willing to talk to a fucking chatbot and pretend it's their girlfriend. They're fucking blow up dolls. That is a symptom of loneliness. Do you know how many of these men exist? Just look at OnlyFans and how easy the money is just to talk to a chick that's doing acrobatics on some dildo or with her boyfriend. You're literally watching a chick with her boyfriend doing stuff and paying for it. That's how fucking low millions of men are. You don't think your average girl next door, as fat as she fucking is and as average as she is, doesn't have a few men on rotation that are starved and would drag their balls through fucking broken glass for a whiff of that kitty? You don't think? You don't know. That's the problem. You're completely out of the game, bro. You have no fucking idea. Go make a Tinder profile right now of the nastiest fat bitch you could find on the internet and watch the matches rake in and the simping begin. From the first message, girl, let me take you out. I heard there's this guy and I watch him. He talked about this barbecues in Arizona, baby. Let me get you that full pig roast. You look like you can eat. Baby girl, they got these platters there for 4 or 5 people, but just me and you, we can knock it out. You don't think that exists?
Bruh.
Come on, man.
Utilize women's physical fitness in their mate selection process, which can and does result in the objectification of women. And women can and do utilize men's financial fitness, their resources, their lifestyle, in their mate selection process, which can and does result in the objectification of men. And you know what my advice is to both men and women who choose to become upset over this? Get over it. Like, get over it. This has been going on for hundreds of thousands of years. It is baked into our biology. It is so invisible in our culture that most people, unless they go out looking for it, don't even notice it happening. It is not going anywhere because it's just the way it is. And you know what? That's okay.
That's okay.
Like, evaluating each other might not actually be bad, wrong, or immoral. Though
it is what it is. You got to get over this already. The game has been spelled out for you. You choose to play or you don't. End of story, boys. That's really all you need to get from the red pill. Here's how it works. Here's women's nature. Engage or don't. Engage or don't. You have no other plays. Engage or don't. Yeah. You could sit there and be mad. You can yell at the wind. You can say how unfair this is. None of that shit matters. No one gives a fuck about your crying and your complaining. Play the game or don't. Those are your two options. It is what it is. It's been the same since your grandpappy's time. It's been the same since we were cavemen in caves, bro. Somebody with a bigger club smacked you over the head and took all the hoes. It is what it is. It's always been. The game has always been the same. The dude who could hunt the best got the most hoes. It is what it is. Throughout our evolution, then we moved into farming. The guy whose yield was the highest and could produce the most got the most hoes, got the most money. Hey, life was great for them. It's always been a competition, and the winner takes all. Thanks, Vinti. Sorry for the read, but there's a recovered druggie in the McDonald's I work at right now who showed me her OnlyFans where dudes pay to hear her fart. Yep, there you go. There you go. A druggy, homeless bitch at McDonald's has an OnlyFans and guys are paying.
Bruh.
We are fucking cooked. Extra crispy, burnt.
At Novusnox17 donated $5. Not to say it's not difficult, but what will you do with that suffering?
What will you do with that suffering? Life is suffering. Suffering is life. What do you mean? How could you live life without suffering? Makes no sense. There is no such thing. It's suffering is a transient thing. It's like when people say, you know, I want to live a life of happiness. Well, in order to be happy, you had to have been sad. Happiness is a transient thing. It's not a state that you achieve. You don't get to stay happy. Happiness comes and it goes. Suffering is the same shit. As long as you're breathing, you will have moments of happiness and moments of suffering. Trying to construct a life that has no suffering and zero unhappiness, it's not even possible. You can't. Literally, you cannot, even if you've tried. You will have to suffer and be depressed about something sometime occasionally. Something will make you sad. Something will make you suffer. Your bones might hurt. Somebody passes away close to you. Somebody whose music you like passed away. That TV show ends. You are now on medication because your health has gone. Your job fired you. The birth of your child. Something. There will be moments of joy and moments of sadness. There will be moments of suffering and moments of bliss. That is life. You want that to end, then life has to end. I never understood these people that are trying to construct a lifestyle of like infinite comfort. How could you have a life that is happy, comfortable, and without suffering? There is no such thing. It doesn't exist. And chasing that will make you depressed, will make you feel like a failure. I enjoy the moments that I have to suffer. I enjoy the moments that I'm happy or sad, states of bliss, all that comes and goes. I enjoy it for what it is, a moment in time. I have no control over it. It just happens because life happens to you. I might pick up the phone tomorrow and get bad news from family. I have no control over that. The best I can do is prepare for moments like that, the dark days to come, and that I'm adequately prepared to handle them because of my day-to-day habits. That's all. Some people get bad news, the pressure breaks them, they get addicted to drugs, they go back to eating bad food, they stop working out, shit like that. This is why I say it's so important for you guys to build good habits in your life. Habits that become automatic to who you are. In times of pressure or stress, you revert back to your habits. Wouldn't it be nice if your habits were going hard in the gym, eating super clean, decluttering your mind from all the bad things, all the bad thoughts to help you process what's going on? That's what you should reach to attain every day in your life.
At Novusnox17 donated $10. Be
Thank you,
better.
bro. Be better. That simple. Just be better than who you were yesterday. I'll add that. Just be better than who you were yesterday. I think that's big. Okay, let's move on to another one. What do we got here? So this one says it's extremely important. Every man watches this and boycotts the marriage institution because what she says is right. Feelings change, love changes, and what seemed to be genuine at first ends up looking like this: greed over material stuff. Let's see. I signed a prenup at 27 and I gave up everything, she says.
So at 27 years old, when I signed that prenup, I signed away my rights to everything. Anything that he had before our marriage, anything that he makes or grows or builds during our marriage. And then I signed away all of my rights to anything after the marriage. So like people are talking about retirement and Social Security. I don't even know what that is, but I don't get any of it because I waived it. I waived alimony. I waived any kind of spousal support. I waived everything. For this house, it specifically states that him and his trust will always own this house. Yesterday, I asked him again if there's anything I could do to get my name on the deed. He said no, N-O, period. I mean, I don't know if there, I don't know. I signed it. Like, I signed the paper, and that's, it just is what it is. I don't expect anything other than child support. And the fact that he's not wanting to give me child support after I signed away literally everything.
Hey, you know how you could solve your problem and not worry about this shit? Like, not leave your husband. Not get a divorce. Hey, it seems like you live in a big, nice house and your man has a trust in some other shit, which means he most likely is taking care of business financially already. So why do you want to end that? Why do you want to make your life harder? What side dick are you trying to jump on? And how are you trying to justify destroying your family when you have literally the dream in front of you and you're still not happy? Sounds like you have a problem and you need therapy and you need to go fix what's in your head because you don't value and cherish what you have. You're the greedy piece of shit, not him for getting you to sign a prenup. It seems like you're more concerned with assets than the children and the husband. Isn't that weird that you value material possessions, that you're even thinking in this framework of, if I were to leave, I get nothing? Oh, well, maybe don't leave then and shut the fuck up and make a sandwich. And then you get to wake up in a paid off house with your family intact. Maybe if you did that, you wouldn't have made the stupid fucking video about how you signed away shit that wouldn't have even mattered if you weren't thinking about leaving. Isn't that crazy how that works? Stupendous. That's like a dude winning $10 million in a scratch-off ticket, and then he looks at another scratch-off that says the winnings for that are $100 million, and now he's upset. You just won the dream life, but you're looking outside like, fuck, man, I'm down $90 million. I'm down so much more. I used my last pocket change on this scratch-off ticket. I won $10 million, but I could have won the 100. Fuck.
It's shocking to me. Like, everything. I waived everything. Except child support, because you can't waive child support in a prenup. Because it's not mine, it's my kids. But yeah, in my prenuptial agreement, I waived everything. I waived it all, thinking that I would be protected and that the man that I was marrying was a good man and he would never do anything to hurt me. But people change, feelings change, love changes. And people can lie. So if you're a female, if you're a woman, if you're a girl and you are watching this, protect yourself. Protect yourself. Put your name on the deed of the house that you're living in. I think that probably kills me more than anything. Like, we built this house. I designed that kitchen. It is mine.
You hear that? We built. No, sweetie, you built nothing. I designed. No. You played around with a designer and said, I wanted marble, I wanted this flooring, I want this kitchen sink, and I want this fridge. You just picked out a list of shit. You didn't design nothing. Your husband paid for all of it. Do you hear that shit? The husband designed a kitchen for her. All she had to do is select, hey, honey, do you want the $10,000 refrigerator? The commercial size one? Do you want the latest Bosch dishwasher that could fucking give you the squirt 9000 on top of that shit? Because it's so hard for you to stay 5 seconds in the kitchen. Sure thing. 10 fucking thousand. Oh, I built the kitchen. Did you? I think it was an army of men in there actually building said kitchen. Holy hell. Entitlement?
It's not. And it never will be. And it never was. Sad. That's it. Bye.
Wow. Wow. So sad. Wow. Totally, dude. Insanity. You could do everything for them, they won't care. Yeah, you have to understand what the game is. You either have so much money that if she left you, it doesn't matter, or you protect yourself with a prenup. If you're poor and you get married, you're fucking retarded. I'm telling you, marriage is a luxury these days. You don't need to be married. You could just live with a woman. It's fine. Just make sure you find out about common law. Don't live with her if you're in a common law state, where if she sends any mail, it's not like living with her and she starts to earn some benefits on top of that. Other than that, don't, bro. Don't. Why? In the West, it's not worth it. Until they equalize men's rights with women's rights, the courts, all that stuff, there's no reason. See, the incentive just only rewards women. Men have zero incentive. It's just men have an expectation placed on them by society. Because like we talked about in the beginning of the stream, you're a loser. You failed to launch. You're a Peter Pan. You're not growing up yet because you need to get yourself a wife and kids. Yeah, so the machine can churn you into dust and then churn your kids into dust and repeat the cycle. More bodies for the machine to sweat and labor under while they profit everything and you make nothing, so that you can end up with a harpy that is unhappy with a custom $50,000 to $100,000 kitchen she designed herself, and all of a sudden nothing. Your entire relationship and your children together means nothing. And God knows what went on in that relationship, because that husband, we're always getting the woman's side of the story and they love to play victim. But if that man came on here and checked her on all the shit she's done, she would look like an ungrateful fool and get called out for it. But luckily, with social media, you get one side of the story. So I'm sure she has nothing but boss babes in the comment section telling her how strong she is for leaving or choosing to leave. Don't worry, sis. We're going to do this and that. And you keep posting all this private information, trying to make your family look stupid for this attention that has no monetary value, does not make your life better, and literally destroying your marriage, the sanctity of the thing you swore to uphold. And you're a fucking buffoon for even contemplating leaving your husband. What problems could you possibly have? Please explain. They didn't. You notice? He didn't beat me, didn't cheat on me. What did he do, sis? He worked too hard to make your fucking dream kitchen come true? Yeah, you felt neglected because the dream kitchen was built and you're entitled to that shit? Oh, you wanted a man that could financially hold it down and create your dream life, but you got sick. You woke up in the middle of the day and were like, you know what? He's always working. He's never paying attention to me. Yeah, bitch, what do you fucking think it takes to get a marble countertop? One slab, custom cut on your fucking kitchen island. That shit ain't cheap.
Bruh.
At Navasnock17 donated $5. Bo, quick question: would videos of building something interesting regardless of job or anything is a video worth watching to send you?
Sure, why not? Yeah, I'm down to watch interesting stuff. I think some of these have to be kick only. Let me go through some of these. Okay, we have an interesting one here. How many videos do I get per day? Too many, and they're all mostly shit. I mean, I get absolute slob. If I check right now, let me check for you guys before we start this next one. Here we go, dude. Parents turn high school basketball game into pure chaos. I'm just reading the titles, okay? Arrest made in connection to Albany murder, traffic shooting. Okay. YouTuber jailed because she got the ick afterwards. I'm just reading the titles. I haven't even opened them, just so you guys could see what I'm getting. This one message that should be sent to all men. Okay, let me just open this. Let me read this guy's message just so you guys can see. It's just a paragraph. I just opened it. I like maybe, let me see. Let me make it bigger so I could read this shit. I like maybe half of what you put out on YouTube. I've been watching you since you were with that Asian chick from day one. I have been off and on with you. You know I get tired of the race bait, the women problem. Garbage, but I do hear a simple message where you should just stay on. Here we go. Real men, not males, because males could transition to a lot of things. And you know all the words that men call males, right? What the fuck? Right, okay. And also transition to women now. But this is the one thing I wish you could just stay on, and not the race bait. And not the modern women net garbage. The only way to protect and save this country, as we all put our ego down and we all gather into a fist and we punch the system the fuck out. Get men to stand together, band together. Vote these cowards. He's a voter. Oh, he's voting harder. Actually, if we band together and vote harder, actually. One second. Let me protect my eyes while I read this slop. Actually, if you stop race baiting, actually, I'm black. I'm black and I'm one of your fans. So if you just stop, or I'm brown, I'm one of your brown fans. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ, dude. Let's hold hands together and kumbaya. All right, bro. Where are we at here? If we band together, okay, vote these cowards that just destroyed our country and in less than a year demand that ideals, you fucking low IQ retard. Can you please write out a proper fucking paragraph? That ideals, I'm just going to read it the way this retard wrote this shit to me. That ideals, the things we want for our family be rectified. I get it. You have to make money and you have to sell stupid net ideology to feed the pigs. But I do believe you have a voice that can gather all men. I don't care about your Eurocentric ideology and a culture bullshit that comes out every now and then. I live in America. Bro, do you know what a period is? I'm about to move to South America. Wow, and you're going to vote and take the country back. You sound fucking incredible. And build a wonderful business because I'm very successful. But it's sad as me when I hang out with people. Clearly, your IQ and your business is very successful. There's a lot of tears, a lot of drugs, and watching friends and family died of cancer because of poisoning our food. I want a little bit better from your channel, bro. You disappointed me. Shit, bro. Sorry about that. Shit. I can see you're a man. Thank you. I hope I don't look like a woman. Hopefully, you can hear this from another man. Shit. There's too much garbage leading men to hate and point fingers. There needs to be a channel that gets men off their ass and put boots on the ground and push these cowards back to where they need to go. Continue building your greatness. I just want a little bit more. Aww. For fuck's sakes, dude. This is my email. Shall I continue reading emails for you guys? Thank you, Masked Villain. That's literally your name. I appreciate you, man. You did your best. Now, while you fight to take back the country all the way in South America somewhere, wish you the best, bro. I'll keep doing what I can. I'll tone it down for my black and brown brothers. Okay?
Yeah, Cooking donated $2. I sent you a video request that was talking about TAI and why it was shut down. It was meant to be a video to lift moods after a heavier dark topic is talked about.
Uh-huh. I have to check. I don't even know. There's so many of them. Bro, you don't understand some of the emails I get. I hate even opening some of them. That one is okay. Yeah, I can't. I'm not reading these. These are way too... Some of these are like entire novellas. I'm not. I just don't. Oh, thanks. No, email only stream, please. Yeah, maybe. Oh, Lord. Jeez Louise, bro. Okay. So this one says... Clip the file. I'm not going through thousands of emails to read absolute slop. Man, you want me to quit. I'll quit YouTube if I have to do that. All right. Fred, thank you for... They're going extinct in Thailand or something. What's going on here?
South Korea's fertility crisis has been on every news channel.
Oh my God. It just instantly starts with absolute slop. Fine, bro. We'll watch it. It has music. Oh my God. What else do we got here? Fucking hell, dude. It's just, I would scroll through these, but I'm not, I don't want to dox people's names and shit. Hot topic. Here's one for you, buddy. Let's open it. It's a YouTube link. It opens to this. Comments are turned off on the video 11 days ago. 60 Minutes Australia. Ah, that actually looks decent. I'll leave that one up for later. Does it have music?
That not all eggs.
Okay, cool. That's clean. Clean. That's a clean one. See, that was clean as fuck. We'll actually watch this.
Coming up.
Ooh, that's a nice thumbnail right there. The guy who sent me, I can't say, he has a funny name. I can't send it though. Okay, nobody will know who he is, right? I'm pretty sure nobody will know who he is. Ah, fuck it, I won't. Paid collaboration opportunity with some slop company. Hey, I'm from this agency. I've been following your work and admire. Fuck off, bro. Cover this video, please. It's fucking Facebook. What is this?
Black and brown predators or the dangers of undocumented folks. Can you please explain why nearly 80% of the people...
Oh my God, bro. Okay. We'll leave that one up for later, perhaps. All right, that's it. No more of this slop shit. We're going back to what we were doing. Man says black people are their own worst enemy after a black man says they hate us because they want to be like us because they know we possess things that they will never, ever in a lifetime possess. All right. Quite the scholar we got here.
They hate us because they want to be like us because they know we possess shit that they will never, ever in a lifetime possess.
Stop with this mindset. I think black people are more obsessed with white people than white people are obsessed with black people. Right? In his caption, he had like, they hate us because they think we're superior. You're superior? Do you not, like, it's like, do you not see the hypocrisy? You're no different than the white people you complain about. Thinking you're superior? What makes you superior? What makes you better than others? Right? What makes you better than others? Because and how can you be better? Right? How can you be superior and then also be oppressed? It doesn't. That don't make sense. That don't correlate. How can you be oppressed by someone that you're superior to? Does that make sense? It doesn't to me. Please explain. How's that? How's that you perceive superiority to people that you complain about being oppressed by? And this is the thing, right? We had to wake up from this victim mindset, from this need to have a I don't know, oppressor, right? Because you need to be a victim, okay? It's literally showing no strength, right? You're weak. And that's sad because I think the black community is cool, right? I think the black community is the coolest community around. But it makes shit like this shows you that they're their own worst enemy, okay? They're their own worst enemy. Who hates you for being on the bottom of every totem pole? Who hates you, right? I mean, it's like you're the group who says that, you're oppressed. Who's jealous of that, right? Who's jealous of that? You're on the bottom totem pole of, average family earnings. Who's jealous of that? You're the highest single mother rates. Who's jealous of that? Lowest marriage rates. Who's jealous of that? Shit like this is the problem with the black community. It's the mindset. Stop thinking this way, right? The white man this, the white man that. No, don't give a shit, right? The white man don't care about you. You shouldn't be caring about him, right? You should be caring about yourself, your community, your family. Right? How to improve yourself, how to improve your family, how to improve your community. You constantly, white man is doing this, white man is oppressing me, white man is this, white man is jealous of that. It only keeps you shackled to the perceived racism, to perceived history of America. Right? You know the history of America, great for you. But being shackled to it is what's keeping you oppressed, right? You are oppressing yourself. Right? The white man is not stopping you from succeeding. You are. This mindset is. This is why I'm tired of this. I really am. And people like this, once you spread this message, it's disgusting. It really is. Because you are the reason why the black community is failing, right? You are the reason why. Shit like this. How does that improve young men's mindset, right? Saying, white men's jealous of me, okay? Now what, right? Violence, right? No financial education, right? Criminality, debauchery. How does that improve the mindset of young black men? No. This is why you're useless, right? This is why black women have taken control of the black community, which is, destroying the black community, and why black men are weak as shit. I'm sorry. And I said this, right? I think the black community is cool as shit, but they are their own enemy.
Damn. Ouch. So, minorities are going in, eh? Hey, it's a real conversation they don't want to have. I got a message. Let me show you guys. This is perfect. So when I talk about this stuff, it makes me a racist. But if a black man talks about the black community, he's an Uncle Tom. If this Asian dude talks about the black community, somebody in the comment section was like, is this motherfucker even in America anyways? Who is this? Okay, so check this shit out. I got in the community this message. Let me find it. This was in the public community, by the way. So one of the brothers was asking me, Mr. Hamilton, he says, I have a question for you, Bo. Everyone says you hate black people. Does that include everyone? But your argument is that people are stupid, and many of your arguments involve IQ and genetics. So are you saying people can't evolve, work hard and study to do better? Or are people just hating on you online because you said some things on the internet? And I'm asking as a black person myself who sees all the racism directed at all black people, even black children who haven't done anything and are just trying to live their lives and improve themselves. And I'm asking for myself too, since most of the people I interact or work are white people, and seeing what's going on the internet is making me question if my skin color is the wrong one to be born. He's asking for guidance. That was all. And I wrote, a bunch of guys in the community calls are black. Super chatters are black. People on the street that dap me up, black. People who say this person hates a whole group are low IQ. I criticize everyone, and anyone with low self-esteem is in their feelings from inferiority complexes. Literally, the low IQs are the ones that are upset. Anybody that calls me a racist quite literally just outs themselves as having low IQ. People are stupid. No, you can't evolve. Your IQ is genetic. That's what I wrote for him. You can only affect it a few points with studying and working hard, but you're capped at birth. It is what it is. Deal with it, bro. We all can't be astronauts. It would have been cool, but I just don't have the capability to be one. It is what it is. The racism towards blacks stems from hood culture and ignorance being allowed. pushed and celebrated in black culture. You are bunched in with every street dude with a colored bandana hanging out of their pants precisely because of this. If you call it out, you're an Uncle Tom. If I call it out, I'm a racist. Community stays broken. And that's essentially the message of the video. The black community seems helpless because those in the black community benefit from crying and offload the burden and the responsibility from their shoulders onto everybody else. That's really what it is in the black community. Seeing it from the outside in. I've lived in Atlanta. I've had tons of black. One of my best friends were black. I've been very close to the community. My friends were selling coke by the 5th grade. I went to the same school Migos went to. A whole bunch of my friends were drug dealing and in gangs by the time we're in middle school. Okay, I've seen the culture up close. My friend literally said to me that his dream was to be a gang leader. All right, it's a cultural problem. A lot of it is exacerbated by the culture. Even if you have a right path in life, you're doing your best as a black man or a black woman, yeah, everyone else is going to look at you like you're a hood booger because hood boogers dominate the culture and there's no pushback from within the community or very little. Hood boogers are what gets propped up, are the leaders, are the trendsetters, are the ones that are looked up to by the children. It's the hood boogery. And that's what every other culture around the world responds to. That is why universally you're at the low of the totem pole in everyone's eyes. Universally, no matter what country you go through, this is the brutal truth. Any black person will tell you that. Whether you're in China, whether you're in Thailand, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Latin America, doesn't matter where you go, who's at the bottom and why. The culture has a problem calling out bad actors, and now the bad actors are so numerous that it's drowned out anybody that does a little bit of good. And anybody that calls it out now, immediate racist deflection. You're a racist. You're a racist. Criminals, jailing them, racist because it's too many blacks in the jails. That's racist. Oh, is it? Kids struggling at school, that's racist. You got to pass them. We don't even hold certain communities to a set standard that everybody else has to abide by, a universal standard, because we make excuses for them and treat them like children. Oh, it's oppression, systemic oppression. It's a systemic issue. No, it's not the hood boogery in the neighborhood that's destroying all the seeds to be able to grow strong and prosper in society. No, it's not the hood boogery doing that. It's not the ass shaking in front of Chick-fil-A on the music videos, rapping now fucking nonsense, and 5-year-olds pretending they're holding guns, pew-pewing the camera. No, not that hood boogery. Who are the people that the black community looks up to? Who are the idols of the children? Do they even have black idols that aren't absolute hood boogers? Think about that for a second. Do they look up to Thomas Sowell? Do they even know who he is? Neil deGrasse Tyson, do you even know who he is? Do you even know any black intellectuals apart from fucking Lil Wayne, Trippie Redd, and next retard that's rapping the same CIA slop that's got you guys in a fucking spell, shooting each other and turning your communities into shit? Anything whatsoever. Please give me a name. I bet you ask all these kids in the hood about who Thomas Sowell was or who Neil deGrasse Tyson is and what his show is about. They can't tell you a single fucking thing. But they can rap lyric for lyric some little baby shit or whoever the fuck the next guy in line is. Your CIA slop, they got it. Perfect. Drugging up your own community, shooting up your own people, stealing from your own families. Yeah, rap about that. Rap how hard you are. I saw another video of some black guy talking about taking hats. I bet you I could fucking find it right now. Watch this shit. Just so you could see what's pushed in the community. They think I'm just being racist or out of my fucking mind. Oh, okay. Just wait. Just wait. Taking hats, I think is what he was saying. Let me double check. One sec.
At Navasnox17 donated $10. That's a wonderful question. For any race and background, who are your heroes? What is the story they tell?
Trying to find that video. Can't find that shit. If I do by latest. There's a video of some dude sitting in a chair with some chains and he's talking about, I don't know, to somebody about his gang. Essentially what he's saying is, if you haven't killed anybody, you have to go out and kill somebody because we don't want anybody that hasn't killed anybody. He says, go getting some hats, he says. Go collect you some hats. If you got no hats, we don't want you. That's what the culture's pushing. You saw that too? Yeah. Can't find. I don't know what to type to get that shit. But enough of you have seen it. You saw that. Yep. And then the search functionality kind of sucks on X. If I don't get this video titled exactly whatever that post was, I don't even remember which account posted it. If anybody has that video, let me know. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Novus, yeah, everybody should be able to point to some people that are aspirational in their community and who they should live up to being. Can't find that shit. Well, fuck it. Black folks have told you to your face, oh, you're one of them? Ouch. That shit's crazy. Let me find that other clip. There's another one that was going viral too. Same shit. Okay, here we go.
At Truck 4748 donated $5. There's a reason why the first thing a successful black person does is to move away from other blacks. It's a sad reality.
And they say this is just a random video I came up on. It says they accuse this driver of being racist because he put the car on drive. I haven't even watched this shit, so let's see what the hell's going on.
Not today. Not today.
Okay. You about to follow off my friend and get in. Don't be racist. Just get us to our destination, please.
Excuse me?
Just get us to our destination, please.
Bruh. She just said.
To the destination, please.
No, before that.
As soon as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah, please leave my vehicle.
Say that again?
Please leave my vehicle. I have no business with you.
He canceled.
Before I call the cops.
Yeah, we'll call the cops. Call them. You up. Please call them. Bitch. Call them.
Look at here.
You crack a bitch. Racist.
Isn't it crazy how uneducated people that victimize themselves are always the ones that are actually racist? Like, she had no business saying that, but when she got kicked out for saying that, what happened? She immediately called him a cracker bitch. The only ones who feel oppressed are the ones who actually hate the other party and just want a reason to not feel guilty about the fact that they're racist. Not only that, they don't want to better their lives, and it's so much easier to blame somebody for their life being shit than understanding you have to work hard to overcome. And it's not like these types of individuals are completely convinced that it is the truth, even though a majority of them are, because at the end of the day, she didn't repeat herself, did she? The second dude said, "What did you say?" She said the second line, and then her friend reinforced the second line because he realized, oh fuck, she might have gotten us sitting here on the fucking curb waiting for another Uber. But she knew not to speak it again because she realized in that moment that she fucked up. That means she's too comfortable using that as an excuse in every setting that she's in. But what happens when a professional victim faces the consequences of their actions because the content of their character created a situation that made it inconvenient for them? Obviously, the response is to be racist. Yeah, no, I don't deal with problems in my life because I'm a piece of shit and I'm self-centered and think the world revolves around me and that everybody's literally thinking about me because I'm so special. No, that can't be what it is. It's because they're racist and they hate on me because I'm better than that.
Racist so-called black Americans exist.
No shit.
There's this stupid idea that black Americans cannot be racist because they're black. This is nonsense, and it's also racist if you believe that, because anybody, and I mean anyone, can be a racist.
Captain Obvious.
Great video, sir.
Wow, bro. It's tremendous ad at the end there. Yes. We totally didn't know that. We needed to hear it from a black man. Let him speak. Because we totally didn't know you could be racist if you're black. Stupendous. And this is exactly what's wrong with the community. I bet you he gets a ton of hate from people in his own community calling him, you know, Uncle Tom, and he switched up and all this other shit. I bet you. I bet you. It'd be your own people that bring you down the most. Just know that. Be your own people. Bonus video, because why not?
What you just asked me? What animal is chicken? Why are you recording me? You weird. What animal is chicken? What animal is chicken? Mm-hmm. You want to know what animal is chicken? What animal do you think chicken comes from?
What are they teaching these kids?
Cow. What you just asked me?
Bro, that's crazy. Chickens come from cows, big dog. Fucking hell. Holy shit, we're cooked. You know, people vote with this level of intelligence, so like your vote doesn't matter. That's why homie in the email prior was like, you need to vote. You need to band together and vote. How, bro? How? Okay. Boys, 2-minute timeout. And then we're gonna continue. I gotta go to the bathroom. This is the next one we're watching. She gets a brutal reality pill after she started hooking up with a chat and asked, "What are we?" question. This is great. We're just gonna keep firing these off. All right. 2-minute timeout. All right, we're back. Before we begin, I forgot. I'm so bad at plugging merch, dude. I'm horrible. Boys, if you haven't, peep it. There you go. Get yours. Hot off the presses. Damn, that shit's fire. Come on. That design is heat, dude. Just vote harder, player. If you haven't, get some hats, get some merch. Appreciate everybody that's been buying these. They've been selling out like crazy, dude. So thank you to everybody that's been getting these. Hope you've got a good reception wearing them. And just for the support, I'd like to thank you again, overall. And everybody that's been super chatting, donating, all that good stuff, subscribing as members. Shout outs to everybody in the private community. You're a beanie, dude? I'll see if I could do a beanie. But it's not beanie season just yet. So our next video is going to be this chick talking her crazy, whatever. And then we're going to go exclusively on Kick. There's some episodes that I want to watch that have music on them, and we just cannot. YouTube is just not the place to do that. So anyways, let's just get started with this. Modern woman gets a brutal reality pill.
Riddle me this. A guy tracks you down on social media, waits months, begging you to go out with him, just keeps asking, you keep saying no. Finally, you give the guy a chance. He's cute.
I haven't seen
All
this.
right, fine. You go on a date. He's great. He's sweet. Great eye contact. Chemistry, I think's there. Have a good time. The whole conversation is about how he's ready for a family and he's only looking for a woman who really wants kids. That's the tone. I'm like, great, someone who's serious, who wants a relationship. Fast forward a few dates. It's getting kind of serious in my little pea brain. You know, introduce each other's dogs. We're visiting each other's places. You know, it's getting in this pea brain to the next step. You don't want to know what's going on in his pea brain. So fast forward again. We're having great long walks, great weekends. A couple months go by, having really good, serious talks. One could say there's a little bit of love bombing in there. There's a little bit of future faking in there. So a couple months go.
Kitty was garbage. Here's what happened. Ladies, you're going to hate it. Your peace sleeve was garbaggio and he couldn't see himself stuck to that for the rest of his life. That's what it was. It was nothing else but that. You're good looking enough. Your personality was good enough for him to wait. By the time he got in there, that hole was blown the fuck out. Like someone dropped a bunker buster in that bitch. That's what happened. That's the game. You got the bunker buster box. That's why he left your ass. You got to tighten that shit up and do your kegels. I'm just being real.
By, you're doing one of your 4-mile walks. You're holding hands. The dogs are sniffing the grass. The sun is setting. You're only in mile 1 of the 4-mile walk, mind you. And innocent female thought bubble. I say out loud, silly me, I go, so are we kind of gonna delete the apps? Are we kind of exclusive? What's the plan, Stan? I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole ya, but it's been a few months and it seems to be going well. And I'm letting you into my safe space, my emotional, this is my favorite place on earth.
Your box is a cavern. It's been bunker busted. The streets have been in there. I don't think women really understand how this actually works. I know because I've done this. It's happened to me. I know because all my friends have done this and we talked about it. I know because a bunch of men has talked about this stuff all the time. You could be taking it slow with a girl. Finally, you get a good girl that you think is good. You're all respectful and shit, and you decide to wait. And then you have the most garbage sex of all time. The box has been bunker busted. And you instantly nope right the fuck out. No matter how good she is. Because we're only human, Harry. And good sex is actually very important. And bad sex exists for a man too. Just like there's a bunch of different meat stick sizes, so are boxes in different sizes too. Some boxes are great, some boxes not so much. If you were blessed with a bunker buster, sorry sis. It is what it is. All right. This is real. Sex does matter to men beyond just having it. Actually, how good it is. And it's a damn shame when it's a very pretty woman who's got a great personality and she's got a trash box. It happens. The same way you ladies are disappointed. You got a man that's an absolute hunk. He is attractive. He says all the right things. Then he pulls his pants down and he's got a shrimp. It's the same shit, sweetie. You can't stand a shrimp and you're always negotiating against yourself how long you can take the shrimp. He's going to be negotiating himself how long he's want to be in that bunker busted cavern. Okay? And the answer is not long.
And I don't just let anyone hear. Stupid me. I'll never do that again. Spoiler alert. And this man looks at me dead in the eye, still holding my hand, and says, you know, I don't think so. I don't think I want a relationship.
Ouch.
I don't think I want to be exclusive. I don't want to be with you. I don't see a future. And I'm like, ooh. It was kind of like, you know that meme where it's like the buffering. That was me. I'm like buffering. So my little brain, I'm like, and we're only on mile 1 of 4. My only thought at that time is, get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm like, I think it's just like being adopted and, I don't know, being a tourist or just being me and having lived in New York. I need to always know there's an escape hatch. Like, where are the exits? How can I leave? I couldn't leave. There was the only way out was finishing this 4-mile walk. And I'm like, and this person stuffs at my house. I'm like thinking to myself, I wish I could like in Sims, I wish I could go to my house before we go back there, remove all of his materials and put them outside in front of his car so that I didn't have to deal with it. You know, like all of those.
She's just devolving into garbage.
Things. Anyway, so we painfully finished the next 3 miles with him just like, you know, I just tuned it out, but I just let him regurgitate whatever he wanted to get out. I was just like, one-track mind. I'm like, get home, get back to safety. And I'm telling my dog, like, giddy up. And he's just telling me all the reasons why. He's like trying to find himself. He's like, he thinks he needs to like date more people. Well, no, first he said, the one thing I recall that I was like, he said, I think I need to be away from you to realize that I want to be with you.
Oh my God, bruh. Straight pimping. Bruh. Damn. He hit her with a reverse Uno. You know, I gotta cheat on you, baby, just so I can love you more. You know what I mean? Just like, if I smash other women, I'll really value you, you know? Ugh. Okay, pimp.
And I was like, he said he'll miss me when he's away from me and gone. So he needs to.
He says he's got to size up some other boxes first. Like, this one's really pretty. She's blonde. She's a little goofy and funny. But can I get something a little tighter? Jesus, if you can hear me, throw some hoes my way. I got to do some calculations. Lord, can you hear me? I got a good one, but there's one problem. She's been bunker busted one too many times. Lord, keep her around, but just know I got to keep on testing the box sizes here. Send me, Lord, please send me a good one. As beautiful as she is tight. Come on. And the Lord will not answer.
To figure that out and feel that feeling first. And I was like, sir, you nuts. So we finally crawl back to my location, and this chicken nugget is like, yeah, so I can like stay in your guest room though. Like, it's late. I'll drive back tomorrow. I was like, that's super amazing that you thought that. There's the door. Don't let it hit you. Well, maybe let it hit you on the way out. Skedaddle. And long story short, he was just shocked that I didn't want him to just,
rearrange your guts with zero responsibility. Yeah. Zero exclusivity. Oh, just beating cheeks for fun. Just sizing up boxes up in New York. Why not? It's not like you're angling for a 6'5" finance bro with blue eyes also, who's got other boxes all around, just angling for that finance bro money. It's totally not it, So, yeah. On to the next one, I guess.
Tent up and, stay the night. And I mean, these men, these 30-something guys, I think they're just homeless. I don't know. They just want to, stay at these women's houses that they meet on these apps. I don't know. I mean, I met them on Instagram. Red flag. I won't do that again. But yeah, I just look back at that and I'm like, I pride myself in being able to.
She's sad because he was a Chad, because his meat stick rearranged her caverns and she liked it, and he was hot and he was high status. And he came out of nowhere on Instagram and she felt the butterflies, and this might be it. He said he wants to have babies. And then it turns out that the box was mismatched and he wasn't feeling it. And then he had to give you the whole shtick of, I'm just finding myself. If I get to smash more boxes, maybe I'll just value your box more later. Typical finance bro. He's like doing calculations in his head. He's like, the bottom line here, Stacy, it's not adding up. We got a cavern, and I've known that there are non-caverns out there. So, listen, in order for us to build more value here, the bottom line, I'm going to have option A, B, and C to be able to accurately compare exactly the proposition I have laid out in front of us. So, how does that sound, Stacy? And she's like, you what? You what? Skedaddle. How could you? Skedaddle now. And I'm going to go in my car and I'm going to make a video. I can't believe it. Fucking kill me.
To see these things, I would think, in advance or like miles away, but even the best get got, I mean, dang. So I'm just happy.
Oh my God.
Clam with me and my pupperoo, because my safe space is my safe space, and it was a good lesson learned. Like, no more of these individuals get to be in my safe, like my
your guts get to be in your guts, except once the feelings come back next week on a new meat stick.
Happy spot. So like my apartment and stuff, like, you're gonna have to be with me for like probably 12 months, like to a year, like before I'm gonna let you, enter my space again. But what is going on? Like, I get it. Like, if you don't want commitment, like, say it straight up so we can save everybody's time and emotion.
Oh my God. This is why we stopped watching these, dude. Look at you can't. This makes me sick, and I'm gonna champion eugenics one day. I feel like I'm gonna end up there. Thank the Lord you are beautiful and intelligent, fucking Douglas over here. Douglas, look at this fucking guy, dude. Douglas, old ass Douglas. I know it's 2026 and all, but always fish above your pay grade, little lassie. You are dumbing down. Just remember, you hold all the cards. Speaking as an old man with 3 daughters older than you, this is Chloe Bella. Who gives a fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that, dude? Bro played his cards right. The aim was to smash, and bro definitely smashed in our little pea brain after smashing. That's when we know we don't want a relationship. It was just a load of semen talking. Jeez Louise.
Perfect.
All right, boys. Listen, I can't anymore after that. We're going to watch... Should we just watch the video from the second channel that just went live? Nah, I'll let you guys watch it. We'll just chill and talk to the chat a little bit. Look at this fucking... Of course, we got a simp. Sorry, I don't see anything unusual here. She's a lady that values herself and doesn't want to just jump straight into bed with someone. She already fucked him. Wants a partner who's like-minded. In this instance, she met someone who's probably just trying to get into her pants. Like, this is how stupid this fucking guy is. What do you think in her space means, you dummy? Fuck, dude. Some men are clueless as shit. Women must settle to get commitment. So it says, so you can't find the perfect boyfriend. Tell me, have you looked into the friend zone? Jeez. And those guys get hell. They don't even get the best version of her. This is already bad advice too. Look in the friend zone. The friend zone is the guy that gets the worst deal of everybody. He gets the fucking crumbs, the scraps. He has to fight for every fucking piece. Meanwhile, the whole loaf, she was just handing it out to guys like this. Talking about, I need to smash a couple other girls just to make sure I really like you. Holy fuck, bro. Then you're the other guy negotiating, please, for like the once a year blowjob. Crazy. Ugh. How long have we been at this for? 2 hours 30. We'll chill, answer some questions with everybody. We'll call it, dude. I gotta get to the gym. I gotta eat, dude. I'm fucking starving. Actually, no, I'm gonna set up my bag. My bag just came in. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit the bag. It's been a minute. I got a new XL standing bag. I need to fill that up. Chipotle sounds pretty good right now. Gross. Yeah, punching bag, yeah. Oh yeah, let me put... Boys, on YouTube right now, head over to Kick and just subscribe. Sign in, make an account if you don't have one, and just sub to the channel. I'm gonna try in time once I get some other stuff going on. I'm going to try in time to tailor every live stream like that with, like, you know, a set topic / monologue in the beginning. And then we'll go in and chill on some commentary. I've just been a little bit busy on the background. Honestly, the Claude coding stuff has been taking a ton of time. And it's been... Kick is banned in Greece? Wow, what the hell? Okay. That's strange. Yeah, cut is finished. I'm starting a clean bulk now. I got rid of a bunch of the fat that I wanted to just get rid of. So I'm as lean as I want. And now we're just going to build up slowly back up. I don't want to do any like crazy bulks. I like where I'm at right now. I feel nice, loose, fast. I don't tire. So... yeah, stamina's good. Look, size is cool, but once you get past a certain like strength threshold, it doesn't matter. I don't bench anymore for maxes, but I went past 315. And once you hit 3 plates, you're good, dude. Once you can squat 4 plates or more, honestly, you're fine. Anything beyond that, cool story. I feel like protecting my joints and shit, so I'm getting into mobility work, and I prefer hitting the bag, shit like that. Weightlifting is just like maintenance of muscle. It's no longer really building. Yeah, I'm in a good spot right now. Four plates on bench is minimum for influencers. Good for them. Thank you. Yeah, I used to ego lift all that. So I used to want to have big numbers. I got into the 1,000-pound club. I felt good. It was like an achievement. I did that at like, I weighed, what, like 210? 6'2", 210. I prefer running, weirdly enough. I rather run. I like to go for a nice long run. I don't do it as much anymore. I've been kind of yearning for the long, brutal runs. And I like those rogue bikes that can gas you out in 10 minutes or less. I love that shit. Honestly, I like testing myself cardio-wise a lot more than with the weights. The weights are cool, but really that's just an aesthetic. Like, most guys that are trying to pack on pure size, honestly, although you look good, your performance is ass. Like, I'm paying for years in the gym with my mobility, right? Like, I'm not, my range on my joints, and yeah, you can't move. The range of motion is super limited on these big guys. Forget the cardio, they have almost none. These guys will gas out in like 30 seconds on something high intensity. 30 seconds and they're out. So, and then you suffer because, you know, you're lifting, all these lifts are very linear. It's like pulling a lever, basically. Your bicep is like a lever, for example. And your shoulders, same shit. And all these moves are very linear in nature. So these guys might be strong in these very specific lifts, but if you make them do some very weird calisthenic or some other kind of exercise that recruits different muscles, you'll see that they're not actually as strong as they think they are. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. I only found that out when I was training with some fighters, and we were doing the weird exercises fighters do to gain power, like explosive power and punching and kicking and stuff like that. And the exercises seem, you know, simple enough, but because the mind-muscle connection, the neuron pathways weren't built yet, you know, you didn't strengthen that connection with the body, you can't actually do the same intensity that they do on exercises that aren't necessarily strong or strength-based. But you still can't put up the same weight that they do, which is you get humbled when that happens. So once that started happening to me, I was like, okay, cool. So lifting weights is like pretty much fucking useless. Once you get past a certain threshold of strength, like if you're a dude and you're struggling to bench 135, okay, sure thing, like pack on some size and some strength. But even then, I've seen big dudes that don't know how to hit a bag. So like throwing a punch and being big are two different things. You know, gassing out 30 seconds is not good at all in anything. Like, when's the last time you ran 5 miles? When's the last time you did a 10-mile run, for example? You know, like, do you get winded going upstairs? Can you do 5 minutes on a rogue bike, for example, an assault bike without like quitting? It's a different kind of cardio, man. It's actually a different kind of pain. I like it. So, yeah. When I'm in the gym now, I'm no longer doing like super heavy weights. It's mostly just making sure I keep the body primed, getting good blood flow to the muscles, and just maintaining power as I'm building technique and mobility. That's all. Heart health is important beyond the 30s, yeah. I've been thinking about, you know, going on little desert runs out here again. I miss those. So I fucked up my ankle, but I do actually miss just waking up early in the morning. I've been getting up around 5 or 6 naturally, but I stayed in bed and just dozed off a little bit. But by 5 or 6, I'm already up. So 6'2", not 5'2". Let me post the kick. There you go, boys. Ad free on Kick. Join us over there. We'll be back on tomorrow. I'm going to take Sunday off because I'm going to take my girl up to Sedona, Flagstaff, and I want to show her the Grand Canyon. When I was running the long distance runs, I was doing zone 2. Zone 2 bordering on zone 3. That's what I was doing. It sucks because at the very beginning, your body obviously is not used to it, but this is how you build this long endurance. So you're probably going to end up being at like 165 heart rate in the very beginning, just jogging slowly. And you have to slow down to slow your heart rate down into zone 2/3-ish. But then like it only takes a couple of weeks. You're going to start to see massive difference in your cardio. And then all your numbers start going down. Like your speed goes up, the pace that you're able to maintain increases constantly. And then your heart's working less and less to maintain that pace. It's cool. I don't have my watch on me, but that big watch you guys used to see wear, that Garmin watch, I still use that when I go hiking just so I don't get lost at night. But the Garmin watch, I would put that on during runs. I just don't wear it every day anymore for some fucking reason. I don't know. Like, it gets in the way. Do you need to run daily? I don't know. That's a good question. I do know if you don't use it, you lose it. Like, I know cardio is one of the things that disappears very fast. Yeah, your cardiovascular endurance goes away very quickly. Hey, thanks, brother. FISA 702 passed last night? Oh no. Mass surveillance and spying on Americans? Thank you. Thanks, Trump. Yeah. What about playing sports? I mean, it's fine, dude. But you actually need to run. Like, you really want to improve endurance, you actually have to run. Sports help you to a certain point, but you need targeted training to push past plateaus. And if you don't want to run because it's hard on your joints or you got a fucked up whatever knee or some shit, go on the rogue bikes, the assault bikes, and just give it your all on those for like 10 minutes. Trust me, it's going to be a struggle. Does it feel good to pretend that all the shit happening in the world will ever stop getting worse? What are you talking about? This guy's insane over here. No one's pretending everything's fine. We're preparing for the worst. Yeah, the Norwegian 4x4 is really good. They have the best program. Yeah. The Norwegian 4x4 is what I would use to get really back into shape as fast as possible. I had an insane life goal. I've completely failed it. I think it was to do, yeah, I called it the 6x6. I wanted to do, or the 6x10. I forgot I had a name for it. I wanted to run 6 miles in 60 minutes. Which means I think, sorry. Yeah, that would make 10 miles. I'm an idiot. So 10 miles in 60 minutes at a 6-minute pace. That was my goal when I was running a lot. And I'd be like, how cool would it be if in 60 minutes flat, I could get an average of a 6-minute mile pace. And by the time I'm done, I got a cool 10. That's impossible. That's nowhere near impossible, bro. People who actually run all the time can run that no problem. That's what's crazy. Seems impossible for a normal person. Yeah, some people are just gifted runners, honestly. New cars past 2027 will use AI to determine whether you're allowed to operate your vehicle or not. What? Allegedly to combat drunk drivers? What the fuck? France already does that. Hey, pretty soon they're going to ban just normal cars off the street and they'll force you to get this AI bullshit for your car so that they can track you everywhere. They're going to say it's too expensive. Kind of like insurance is mandated. They'll probably mandate this for cars too. Yeah. So it is what it is. We live in a shitty world, eh? More and more big daddy government, more control, more surveillance, more censorship, more everything. They could already hack cars, so somebody, the smart person in the chat, it's not about tracking, it's about dissidents having, quote, accidents. Yeah, and they could already disable these brand new cars remotely. Some people have been already speculated to have been died in this exact way. Car gets remotely disabled, car accident, they're dead. It happened to... I can't remember who exactly. It was some guy that was reporting on obviously something he shouldn't have been. If you guys remember his name, I don't remember. Some journalist. And he was on a way to some important something. And he ended up getting in a car. Michael Hastings was the big one. Is that what it was? Look into that. Yeah, Michael Hastings. Look into that shit. It's pretty fucking crazy. So... if they want you dead, you're dead. All right, boys. We've had enough. I got some chicken downstairs and some asparagus, and I gotta go crush that shit and then go get it in. We've been sitting for like 3 hours. It's been a pleasure. Boyos. We are going to be back online tomorrow. Hey, says one of your best shows. Been watching for years. Thank you, man. Glad you like it. Thank you for everybody again. I got the merch. Shout outs to everybody in the private community. Appreciate you guys. Yep, meetings are Monday through Wednesday. And yeah. Glad you guys are here. I gotta get some food. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. I'm gonna try to have another topic for you guys. I've been working on a bunch. I got a lot of stuff backed up, but Claude Code, man, I'm telling you, I'm addicted to that shit. I want to release my app already. So proof of concept for everybody, so you could see just what you could do with this stuff. Anyways, take care, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow.